Buff Nation, what's going on? Hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday, and especially Coach Prime. Happy birthday, and we saw him absolutely obliterate some of the media members and another coach in today's birthday press conference. I loved it. So we're going to take a look at some of my reactions to some of the viral clips that have been going on. I have absolutely loved this. There's probably like 3 different things we'll take a look at, but y'all, of course, let me know your thoughts. Was today the best Coach Prime press conference of all time? Or at least that we've seen at his time at Colorado? I think so. I absolutely love this, but let's go ahead and start with a clip that I thought was very, very entertaining. Here when he's talking about, and I have linked in the comments, by the way. Yes, Green Creole is absolutely epic. Go watch the full press conference in the description, courtesy of DNVR. Linked their channel and YouTube video there. So please go watch the whole thing. I recommend it because there's a lot of good gems in there. But let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Let's do this. I want to make sure that of all time, that's right. I want to eliminate some of this, sorry, I'm talking to myself. I just got it kind of small up there. I don't want to get deemed with like potential copyright or anything, but y'all let me know if you can hear this. We'll go ahead and get started. So, yes, we'll get to the Sean Keeler fake journalist roast that happened, but I thought, guys, one of my first videos I did last year in the spring period was talking about how Coach Pat Narduzzi was sour about what Coach Prime's building at Colorado. And a lot of these coaches that ignorantly speak out of their rear end, they're just jealous that Coach Prime's been able to pull the recruits that he's been able to pull so far. And nothing is more poetic than us getting 2 edges from the University of Pittsburgh, from Pat Narduzzi, the naysayer himself. And it was great to hear Coach Prime speak about the coach over at Pittsburgh. Not by name, of course. He doesn't deserve that.
But first of all, I want to digress a bit and thank the head coach from Pittsburgh for really preparing those young men for us. He did a great job. I love those 2 young men. They're really great players, and they're going to be pros. And I heard that someone took a shot at one of them verbally. So Mr. Hayes just wanted me to make sure I add that in for him. But thank you, Pittsburgh. I appreciate everything.
Man, I love it. I love it. Thank you, Pittsburgh. I appreciate everything. No doubt. No doubt. And this is a coach that stands up for his players, y'all. This is what this is what the naysayers, like that random guy over at Athlon Sports, he'll never write about. Instead, he just wants to be sliding into the DMs of Gavin Cole, doing his thing, being all bitter. But this is a coach that stands up for his players, that understands that these guys got an axe to grind, and he's sticking up for him. He's throwing shots. I love it. I love it. So, love to see that this goes back over a year. Coach Prime keeping receipts. Love to see it. I got a crack out of that one for sure. Now, let's continue to move on. Let's talk about the CBS Sports stuff. So CBS Sports, their national publication recently, I guess, came out with an article. I saw this on Twitter, thanks to you guys, that they ranked Coach Prime in like a power rankings of all the Big 12 coaches, 16 teams, ranked him as the 15th best head coach. Again, I think that's ridiculous. Again, when you've improved the team that you took over, I just don't see how you can be shit on like that, to be quite frank. It is what it is. But it was nice to see Coach Prime. This poor guy from CBS Denver trying to ask a question, but Coach Prime lets him have none of it because of who he works for.
Eric Christensen with CBS Sports Colorado.
CBS,
Tyler,
I'm not doing nothing with CBS. Next question.
Joe Rigo, Mile High
Ain't got nothing
Sports
to do with
Radio.
you. It's above that. Ain't got nothing to do with you. I got love for you. I appreciate you, respect you. Ain't got nothing to do with you. They know what they did.
I'm here in Denver, not national.
You are who you are. CBS is CBS.
All right.
Joe
Ain't got
Rico, my
nothing to
life
do with
split.
you. I respect you. That's why I told you that. I'm looking you in the eye as a man. I respect you. I got love for you. But what they did was foul.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you're telling me he's the second to worst head coach in the conference, that's crazy to me. That's absolutely crazy with the trajectory this team is on. That's just me. But I love the fact that he pointed out, hey, it's not personal against you. I respect you, but what they did was foul. Yes, they got to answer to it. He makes them answer to it. That's right, Green Creole. We are Receipt Nation. They've been saying the worst shit and then come and smile like the shit's sweet, right? Yeah, this is so funny. And let's just get to the Sean Keeler thing. If you guys don't know Sean Keeler, he's a reporter for the Denver Post. He's from and went to Northwestern, really renowned school of journalism, which makes it all that more embarrassing. He's become the journalist, the fake journalist that he is, because yes, it happens with CU. He's been negative on CU ever since he's come out here to work for the Denver Post. But he does this type of, it's just spineless, clickbaity, negative shit all the time, because I guess that's what helps him keep his job, is just by tearing other people down, by writing out clickbaity stuff that's going to get people to click on it, all this stuff. He would rather assassinate the characters of different head coaches. Sean Payton, he's done this before too, talking negatively about Sean Payton. It doesn't matter who is in the state. He does create fake controversy because of I guess it's just his profession. That's why I call him a fake journalist. Totally embarrassing that he's associated with guys like Michael Wilbon and Mike Greenberg, because what he does for journalism and sports commentary is on a completely different threshold negatively compared to the people that I just mentioned, such as Michael Wilbon, somebody that I will always respect for their work in sports. Sean Keeler isn't somebody that I will ever respect. And if you go and look up on the Denver Post, which, by the way, is behind a paywall, so not only is Sean Keeler irrelevant because nobody likes his work, nobody is really able to read much of his work because you have to pay to read just absolute tabloid level bullshit type of commentary that really isn't based on anything other than trying to generate controversy and clicks so that the conglomerate that owns the Denver Post can try somehow to save the poor investment that they've made. I have very little respect for the Denver Post. There are few journalists that are still there that I respect, and Sean Keeler is just one of those guys that is part of a larger problem. But I love the fact that Coach Prime did not let him get away easy on his birthday, for sure. So let me go ahead and run this. I absolutely love this thing. Let's see. Okay. Courtesy of DMVR Buffs. And I'll try and bring Uncle Neely. I'll show your angle of it too. Please don't hit me with a copyright ding. I don't want one. Okay, but let's get to it.
The Denver Post. Happy summer, my man.
You don't like it.
Also, that pisses me the hell off. It really does. All this guy does, Sean Keeler, is shit on Coach Prime, try and draw fake controversy, all this stuff, try and poke holes in what he's doing. Again, has very little context and appreciation for the work that he's done with where CU has been at. If he was a real Colorado sports journalist or fan, somebody that appreciated this state, he would understand that, and that would reflect in his writing, but it doesn't because he's just paid to come out here and write bullshit. But I love the fact that this guy just shits on Prime and he says, "Happy summer, my man." And Coach Prime's like, "Man, this guy's fake as shit."
Because, man, why do you do this to yourself?
Come on.
You don't like us.
Mark
You know
likes
you're-
me, by the way.
Huh?
Yeah. Mark said he likes me.
No,
so
but
that's
you
one.
No, he doesn't. Mark doesn't like you. Nobody likes you in that room, Sean Keeler. Nobody likes you in that room. He was pointing to a journalist behind him.
don't. Why do you do this, though?
No, I'm sorry. Two-parter if I could.
No, I'm
Football
serious. Why do
question.
you do this? Like, you know you don't. Like, why do you do this?
No, it's not about that. Football question.
No,
Football
no.
question.
Why do you do this? Like, it would be hard for me to really engage in someone I don't like or something I don't like. I'm just asking why. Like, why?
See, this is the type of stuff that I'm so glad he came out and just asked it. Why? Because these people are willing to. They got no character. They got no spine. They're hating for the point of just doing their job to earn some money, to earn some few bucks. Like that is what they view their job to be. It has nothing to do with or he doesn't carry a good conscience about what he does. This man is miserable, and again, that's why I don't understand if you're going to cover something, try to enjoy it. Like, how about providing some optimism? And it's not to say you can't have some points of questioning or being critical. Like all that is part of covering sports or having an opinion on sports, right? But to do it so blatantly in a spineless, clickbaity, fake controversy manner, just only miserable people do that. You don't have empathy for other people doing that. Something is messed up in your brain for you to say, I feel okay about the way that I'm earning a living.
Got to pay
What
the bills,
did I do?
You didn't do anything. It's not about that. But this
But
is a football
why?
question.
I'm asking you why.
Yeah, you can answer, but that's
Okay,
not
answer
germane
me.
to this.
What?
Yeah.
Because you want me to answer you. So can
Yeah,
you
okay, that's fine. That's fair. Yeah.
Why?
Why? Because I have
Give me
questions.
your why.
What's your why? What do you want to know?
Why do you?
And it's so frustrating that this guy, again, so spineless, he can't even answer the question directly because he knows he's just a troll. I can't believe he shows up there as often as he does. But he's going to go home and write some upset, butthurt article instead of what he should do. Again, no one will read it unless they remove it from the paywall. But he should just come out and say, yeah, Coach Prime is right. I've been doing a bunch of bullshit, and there's no reason for me to be behaving the way that I am. But he
You
won't do
always on
that.
attack. Like,
What
did we do?
Where am I on attack today? Where am I on attack?
Yeah, I'm not gonna give you opportunities to be on attack. But I'm asking you why. Like, what does it do for you? Like, what happened?
It's not about me.
What happened? What happened? Because surely going to Northwestern University did not kill your love for reporting true news, for having nuanced quality takes. All that has gone out the window since you've come to the Denver Post.
But what happened?
Therapist Prime, right here. Why do you do this to yourself, Sean Keeler? Man, you were made a buffoon today.
To get you like this?
What happened in your life? And that's what I wonder sometimes, man, with all these random people that hate this program, that hate what's going on. We're just trying to put something fun out in the world, right? We're just trying to have some fun, win games. We have no arrests on the team. Why do people do? There's a lot of miserable people in the world, and it's sad that some of them are employed as fake journalists.
It's a good question.
No, I'm serious. Because I want to help. Like, but
I want to help, dude. Oh, man. Dad dictum right there.
no, I'm serious. I want to help. Because it's not normal.
We can talk about
It is not normal. It is not. We can talk about that. Man, shut the hell up.
that. We can talk about that.
Okay.
Can I ask you a football question?
No,
Seriously.
No, we'll talk about that. When we talk about that, I'll talk about that with you.
Can we ask you a football question, please?
When I talk about that, we talk about that. We can talk about that. I have a question over here. Let's go.
Guys, man, I absolutely loved it. Oh, my man. Yeah. I guarantee you if that was, let me say, like Coach McIntyre, for instance, I doubt Sean Keeler would feel the need to say, "Happy summer, my man." Yeah, a lot of these guys showing themselves as uncultured swine. Just like, again, I still don't even know his name. I can't even remember his name, but the dumbass with 100 followers from Athlon Sports, dang, him coming out and reporting that strapped means guns when you're talking about football. It just goes to show like how uncultured some inherent subconscious racial biases are in these journalists who, it's terrible. It's terrible. But I'm glad that Athlon guy got put on blast. Again, I can't even remember his name. Athlon's struggling. I saw somebody on Twitter post let me see if I can find it here. Oh, but let me show this, just how uncomfortable he looks answering this whole thing. And then who's this dude? Who is this dude? Who is this dude? This guy is trying so hard not to laugh. And bro, you got to find a new job because, man, the Denver Post giving you like a 12-inch screen, that is not a MacBook even. That's an off-brand laptop, a piece of shit laptop. The fact that they're not even giving you the best, like, you look ridiculous right now. Going there with the tiniest laptop in the room.
Why? Like, what does it do for you? Like,
It's not about me.
It's not about you. Yes, it is. It's about you trying to please the overlords that own the Denver Post. Oh my God, dude. This guy, I love this guy. Now we need to interview this guy. Who is this guy? I want to know what his firsthand experience of
They get you like this.
Man, he knows he got.
It's a good question.
It's a good question. I went to Northwestern. Now I'm writing bullshit clickbaity articles. Now I'm just a shell of myself.
I'm serious.
Bro does look miserable.
I want to help. No,
Then other people in the media room laughing at him.
I want to help.
Man, I love that. Thanks, Uncle Neely, for that. The only thing I wish is that Uncle Neely just kept it on him the whole time. But it is what it is. This was great. I thought I had the Athlon stock price or the conglomerate that owns it, but all that to say, Lord Jesus, happy birthday, Coach Prime. Thank you so much for everything that you do. And what a wonderful birthday. I'll get to some of your comments. First, I'll get to the Super Chats. Chairman A coming in with the $2 Super Chat. Happy Friday. Saying, great start to the season. Absolutely. I'm so ready. I'm so ready for the season. I'm so ready for the week-to-week rivalries that's going to develop out of this. I can't. Guys, who is on your hate list right now? Like your top hate list for the fan bases? Arizona's getting up there for like the three journalists that seem to report more on Colorado than their own Arizona Wildcats team, man. I just want to destroy them. And they act like they didn't barely beat a shitty team last year, right? And we're going to beat Arizona. We are going to beat Arizona this year. I'm calling it. But I can't wait to start playing games. We're finally here, y'all. Thank you again, Chairman A, for the $2 Super Chat. You're making my day. Oh, Green Creole, one of the original subscribers to the channel a year and a half ago. Thank you so much for the $20 Super Chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. I want to see more of this, Coach Prime, and I think we will as we start stacking some wins this year. Now, it was funny throughout the press conference. You heard, I don't know who it was, said, by the way, I got y'all winning 8 games this year. And Coach Prime said, that's it. And then I went, ooh, because I got us winning 8 games this year. But that doesn't mean I'm not rooting for us to go undefeated. But let me get to some of your comments, man. Natty Star. Yeah, okay, I read that comment. Here we go, Chase. The Post is owned by a private equity firm. It's all about the bottom line, and how they get there is no concern to them. Yes, it's they have no conscience. They have no empathy, and they don't even care for the quality of their own work. So it's got to be frustrating, again, going and working in one of these environments. I know when I worked for a corporate environment, that's probably when I just honestly felt like I was the most like the biggest shell of myself, so to speak. And it doesn't shock me that we see a lot of people that come out with articles like this. They're working for organizations that are owned by corporate overlords, just trying to milk everything for that extra dollar. And Sean Keeler, maybe in his therapy session with Coach Prime, can talk about this, but maybe that's why he's become the way that he is because he's just kind of thrown away himself to work for a subpar, newspaper. Green Creole, hit the like button, please, and thank you. Yeah, exactly, my man. It's just embarrassing. It's just embarrassing. Coach put here reading people like tarot cards. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Coach Prime, he was in his bag today. He was absolutely killing it, and he should have a birthday press conference every year. Somebody said that on Twitter. I retweeted that. We need this type of stuff. And I can get into more of the more serious takeaways that I had from the press conference here in just a few minutes after I get through some of your comments. But I absolutely love to see this. And again, the Pat Narduzzi one, again, that one never gets old. And the fact that he'll never say his name, it's like LeBron James never acknowledging Skip Bayless exists. I love it. I love it. And I saw Coach Prime is Petty LaBelle. I love it. Coach said, you don't have chemistry at home, but you're there every day. Yeah, that was another great soundbite. It's like, all that stuff is just overrated. Are you a good player or not? Are you good at what you do or not? Shirley Campbell, what's going on? Dude about to get fired. Yeah, and my recommendation for Sean Keeler is go and find something that you love to do. Are they forced to write negative articles, though? And this is an interesting question, big one, because there's some different ways to answer that. I do think that, again, one of the reasons why you see so much or so many BS articles about CU come out over the last year and a half is because they do perform well. I think that's just how negative clickbaity info, whether it's YouTube or articles, tweets, stuff like that, it just can perform very well. And I will give Sean Keeler credit, not every article he writes is done with a negative spin. Like if you go and look at the headlines and different things of the articles that he writes, not every single one is negative, but there's enough thrown in there to where it's a pattern, where it's something that is deliberately done, in my opinion. And again, some of it makes no sense. Like if you even look at the way that he's covered the Broncos, some of the criticisms on Sean Payton, I just will not understand it after we've had Vance Joseph, Vic Fangio, Nathaniel Hackett, probably the worst head coach in NFL history, worse than Urban Meyer, worse than Josh McDaniels here, preceding Sean Payton. And to speak about Sean Payton in a way that compares him, in my opinion, to like the intelligence level of Nathaniel Hackett, it just doesn't make any sense. But that is the Denver Post media. That is what a lot of them do. And I don't know if they are forced to write negative articles, but I think they are evaluated based on the traction, the clicks that they get, all of that. And so there's probably some times where journalists that work for companies like this, they have to decide, all right, am I going to put out something that's spineless because it's going to be able to look like, make my numbers for this month look better? Just like cops and speeding tickets. That's how I see it, man. Yeah, Coach Prime definitely stood on business today. It was great. Yeah, Sean Keeler, he was not expecting that. And I just think, man, when you write multiple negative pieces like that I don't really feel like are based in anything substantial, you got to come to those press conferences ready with a response, right? Dennis saying, I've met Sean Keeler at CU. Seemed like a good guy, but he comes after Coach Prime. Yes, he does. And again, this is what Coach Prime's trying to get at, is like, I don't necessarily think Sean Keeler's like a bad person, but I guess what I'm trying to get at is that I think he throws away himself to write certain articles to gain a certain type of performance. And there are some people that are okay doing that to make a living. I am not. I'm not. but I'm also not a professional fake journalist. So I don't know. And I think that's the frustrating thing is that Sean will come in there acting all buddy-buddy, but then the next day he comes out with a negative article and he's trying to act all nice during the press conference. I think what Coach Prime's just trying to get at is just be a little bit more consistent and honest. Yeah, you could tell Prime's really trying to know what's going on. Absolutely, guys. Viral Authority, what's going on? The big one, Keeler would sell his butt for a check. Man, well, he might be opening up an OnlyFans soon. Sean Keeler is really ready to bare his soul. He said, I don't know. Oh, wow. Top competitors remember everything. Yes, Sports Illustrated said something bad about Jordan in his second year. He never spoke to them again. Yeah, and referring to Michael Jordan. Yes, and being petty, keeping receipts, I think it's a wonderful thing, and I think it's a wonderful trait. Pretty much all the greats do that. The only one who's, in my opinion, kind of a bitch that does that is KD, but we know he didn't earn those championships like the way Michael Jordan did. As a therapist, I support this. Nicole Carter, I want to help, man. Maybe we just need to have an open, like create a show. Like, they got those celebrity therapy shows. We need like a Coach Prime fake journalist hater therapy show where we put them through the therapy of being like, okay, why are you such a piece of shit, right? Yeah, we can talk about it. Hashtag let's talk about it. King Rich, thank you for the $2 super chat. Thank you so much. He says, happy birthday, Coach Prime. Dave, Sco Buffs. Yes, hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday. Friday's a great day to have a birthday on. That weirdo Cordo, Steve Cordo, something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Did you watch? I'm sure you guys watched the interview he did on the Dan Le Batard show, and that guy was not convincing at all. Again, he might as well just come out and said, I messaged Gavin cold, just DM'd him for some dirt. And that's what's going to happen is that, these random guys that have no career going for them on the opposite side of the country, no real connections to the CU program. This guy's coming across as a journalist when all he's doing is just DMing former players of the program asking for dirt. That's what he's doing. In my opinion, that isn't real journalism. And in today's age, anyone can DM anybody. And he did not seem convincing at all in his interview. And Le Batard asked him, he's like, why should we believe you? And he's like, you don't have to. I've just DM'd and talked to these people directly. And dude, focus on the Carolina Panthers. Focus on the owner of the Carolina Panthers, who seems to have an absolutely terrible character. Tepper, believe his name is, throwing drinks on fans in his temper tantrum. How about you talk about the real bad culture and the real mess that's going on with the franchise and the team that you should be covering? Stay in your own lane, man. But these guys got no shame. They got no spine. It's terrible. Am I wrong for thinking that the backlash CU is receiving has a racial undertone? Some of them, yes. I do believe that some of this comes from whether it's conscious and some people unconscious racism. No doubt. Again, you can kind of see it come through with that Cordo guy or whatever his name is from Athlon. Hearing the term strapped and then automatically thinking that Bucky's going around asking all these teams who's the most strapped. What a dumbass. But if that doesn't show inherent racism with his takes and his reporting, I don't know. That dude's a joke, and he really does need to check himself before he goes providing commentary and reporting fake facts based off of slang that is used in a college football locker room. He should be ashamed of himself and embarrassed. And I do wonder, it's going to be interesting to see if CU really does sue Athlon or sue him, because I think that was, out of all the crazy articles, I think that was probably the most oblivious, like sloppiest work in terms of a hit piece on this program. But it's crazy. Again, this team is reported on like they're the Jailblazers when you have not one arrest since Coach Prime took over. I don't think you could say that for other programs here at CU in the past. Definitely. Yeah, that guy reacting, sitting next to Sean Keeler, he was definitely all of us. Let me pull that back up again. So entertaining. Oh, let's see. Where am I? Well, let's try this one. Yeah, see? He's just right over there trying to hold his laugh in. Oh, yes. Buff Trader posted about the Arena Group holdings with Athlon. Let me go ahead and pull that one up. That will be fun. But yeah, all these conglomerates, man, like, and all these companies that own sports media or just really any sort of news company is that their revenue is to generate clicks. And so accuracy, quality, all that gets thrown to the side in order to make money. So support your independent journalists. Let me go ahead and share this. Let me change up my screen. Okay. So yeah, courtesy of Buff Trader, Arena Group Holdings Inc. owns Athlon Sports, by the way. They need those clicks so bad. Yeah, I mean, look at this. They're down almost 100%. Their stock has been cut in half over the past 5 years. Yikes. That is bad. Down to 90 cents a share. And you can see they're almost at zero. That's a joke. And they're down almost, they were up to $20 a share at some point over the last 5 years. So, yeah, they've lost almost all their value. That is crazy in the last 5 years. Yeah. And again, not the biggest fan of Athlon Sports from the little that I've seen from them. I don't think it's very quality work. And I think it is driven on generating clicks and headlines and all that stuff. And it was great to see Shiloh follow up with a question after the whole Sean Keeler stuff. I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, this is a good way to wrap up the week where Coach Prime putting guys on blast, holding the receipts, very entertaining. I think that this is his best press conference since he's been at CU, no doubt. Let me get to some of your other takeaways from this. Yeah, Sean Keeler is about to write the longest, most hate-filled article of his career, no doubt. No doubt. We know that's all going to happen tomorrow. Yeah, glad we're holding the pungent media accountable. And this is where I got to shout out Buff's Twitter too, because Buff's Twitter, they don't hold anything back. Anything that goes on, Buff's Twitter, ruthless. They'll let everybody know. Oh, it's Shirley Campbell saying, happy birthday, Coach Prime, and congratulations on his new grandson. I didn't know that he was born yet, so that's awesome. Congratulations. God bless. He finally put the two-faced reporters on blast. Definitely made people think twice before writing some trash and showing up to a press conference acting all buddy. My man. Well said. Well said, Pog. Oh my gosh. Stop calling me. Robocallers like crazy. Go Bucks saying, I love Bucky telling Shador and Shiloh, don't discuss the baby. Then Shiloh says, yeah, I saw him on FaceTime. Look great. Man, standing 8 toes down, man. No doubt, man. Tyree Harris, I know you got us scoring like 1,000 points every game. Let's go. I haven't forgotten. Left tackle Jordan Seaton, left guard Justin Mayers, Hank Zelinskas at center. What? You're already benching Khalil Benson or Well, I guess you got Tyler Brown at right tackle, but you're saying Cardell Thomas is going to come in here and be the starting right guard already with 3 weeks left? What? Man, I don't know about that one, but I am happy to have Cardell Thomas on the team. I'll come out with another video either today or tomorrow on him, but he is adding to this line. What? Saf with NFL Network, CBS News, now Big Boys. Unbelievable. He wonders why they will crush him. Well, I mean, you talk shit, you get hit, and that's usually what develops these rivalries, Mike. I mean, that's exactly what happens. Now, what I get confused about is like random dudes in South Carolina acting like, they're talking to motherfucking Deep Throat from the whole what was that whole Richard Nixon scandal like years and years ago, man. Like these guys think that talking to just a sounds like to me it's Gavin Cold, somebody that for some reason I thought that he was just here for the fun ride. He even came in on the live stream and said, Dave, are you going to the spring game? Acting like he was excited to perform, and the dude just goes all bitter because he didn't even get into the spring game. His probably the biggest low light of CU last year, my favorite low light, was him catching his own pass and then immediately throwing like a pick six on the same play. He had more interceptions than touchdowns throughout his JUCO career, and this dude's saying that he's one of the best quarterbacks in the country, and all while asking Shador to pay for his school. What a weirdo! So it doesn't shock me that he's one of the rumored sources for an article like this when he's going out and that Cordo guy talking about, hey, this is who I talked to, spent time with Deion last weekend before he was released. Yeah, and they went on a snowboarding trip. We just thought he was one of the bros. We didn't think he was actually taking his career seriously because he sucks. That's why when people would say, I want Gavin Cold off the team, I say, no, he's a walk-on. He's just there for the fun. I just thought he was there for the fun. But I guess somebody's in his ear telling him that he has a real quarterback career ahead of him. And Steve Cordo is, I guess, whatever his name is, trying to tell his story. But yeah, I mean, it's always somebody else's fault, right? With these players that for some reason they're always willing to talk after they leave the team because they're upset that they didn't get playing time. But it's always the coach's fault. All these guys, it's always the politics. It's always the daddy. No, how about you were just shit at what you did? That's what I don't get. What do you think about the new transfer from LSU? Yes, let's just get right to it. Cardell Thomas coming in, played at FAMU last year, been at LSU a few years prior to that. Didn't play much. I think he started a couple games. Been in college football for a long time now, and I think it provides quality depth. Looking back at his stats at FAMU, I think he had 5 penalties last year, gave up 2 sacks on like 6 pressures, graded out very well in the pass blocking, not as well in the run game, but I do think that he comes in here, brings veteran experience to the line, which is great. I think he brings good depth, and I think an underrated quality that I'm assuming people are going to talk about this is that he brings that, that championship mindset. He's been part of a culture and a team at FAMU that they won the Celebration Bowl, right? Like they won their conference. They went undefeated or lost like 1 game. They had a very good year. So the fact that he's coming from a winning championship type culture, I think only adds to what's going on here at CU. So I do love this, that it just gives us more options if we're dealing with injuries. We don't necessarily have to put somebody out there before they're ready. We got a guy that's taken a lot of snaps at the college football level. So, I think that's great. He's been in college football for like 5 years now. So if we need to put him in a pinch, I think we can do that. We are definitely going to destroy North Dakota State. The second guy called Coach Prime a false prophet, snake oil salesman. Yes. Dan Keeler, what's his name? Sean Keeler did say that. And the first guy works for CBS who owns Athlon. Does Athlon work for CBS? I thought or do they own Arena Group Holdings? But anyways, yeah, he did call Coach Prime a snake oil salesman again, which I just think is so offensive and just rooted in utter bullshit. Because again, you have no appreciation for where this program has been, and what we have been doing from a recruiting standpoint is on a whole different level. We haven't seen this in a very, very long time, most of my lifetime. So again, there's just no respect. Dizza, good to see you, man. Keeler's miserable. He stirs the pot all the time at press conferences. Howell is the same, but he's more sneaky about it. Yeah, Howell. I like Brian Howell. He's just always kind of been that like, well, actually, guy. Wanting to make sure he gets things absolutely correct on certain stuff. But yeah, I will say Brian Howell is definitely more sneaky about it. I like Adam, but when Prime said 24/7, I thought, oh no, no. Well, hopefully he still lets Adam have some access. Hey, D Time, what's going on? Salute, Dave. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. My favorite USC fan. I like D Time you more than my friend Phil, who went to USC. Your evaluation is awesome, and please keep giving us the great content. Go Buffs, USC up. Yeah, hey, and I gotta say, I did say in my video yesterday, you guys are going after that 5-star guy committed to the Texas A&M Aggies. Get them out of there. I hate the Aggies more than any program in college football, even more than Nebraska. So I think that this is a way that we can win. We can both win. We'll take on Julian Lewis. I feel like we all know that's going to happen. You guys can go get that other 5-star blue chip quarterback because y'all get 20 of them every year. So I think this is a win-win for us. Solid gold. What's going on, man? I need you to interview Steve Korber. That would be funny. I think I'm just gonna start calling him Steve Cordo because he doesn't deserve me to fully know his name because I continue to butcher it. So, but I really do want to see DNVR him take up DNVR's invitation to come on because those guys will do a better job than I will. I'll just cyberbully him. That won't be good. Those guys can dissect a guy like Steve Cordo way better than I could. Greg Nelson, David, I love the work you do. A great job. Thank you, Greg Nelson. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Y'all smash that like if you want Julian Lewis to be a Colorado Buffalo. I do this because it's fun. I know sometimes I can get on y'all's nerves. I saw some comments yesterday by some longtime fans, friends of the show, saying, "Dave, you're so fickle. Dave, you're not a true CU fan. You think you'd be a true CU fan being an alum?" I'm sorry, guys. You should know by now. You just get me on this emotional wave. You're gonna catch me in a slightly different mood from the day to day. I'm sorry, but I gotta be honest. I just gotta give you me every day, and that's why I love doing this stuff. It's a lot of fun. Don't start crying when nobody wants to cover the program. John Doe coming in here. Don't start crying when nobody wants. What are you talking about? We got all the coverage we need. I covered my team. Nah, we don't got our feelings hurt, man, but we're just going to call out bullshit when we see it, John Doe. Now, what I love are people like John Doe that come in here that hate what's going on, that aren't even a fan of the program, but look at you. Look at you. You're contributing to the culture, baby. Clicking on Colorado stuff. I bet your feed feeds you Colorado stuff. You're in here commenting, adding to my stream. You're here helping Buffs content creators make a little bit of extra cash in their pockets so they can keep this thing going. That's what I'm talking about. John Doe, The CU love doesn't happen without your hating ass. Thank you. I love it. Oh, see, we got some more. Timothy Taft in here. Man, let's go. Crying you get no love when all you got was propped up by every media outlet last year when you didn't deserve it. No, we deserved it. We deserved it. I mean, people thought, we were, what, 21-point underdogs to TCU? Yeah, we came out there and really killed it, those first few games. Now I can understand why people are frustrated about the coverage after we ended the season on a 6-game losing streak. I totally can see that. But what I don't understand is how you're coming in here again. If we're so bad, if we suck, why are you spending time here on Colorado stuff? Why don't you just go in and enjoy your own team's content? Or do you come from like Arizona where they're not making any content because there's not really that big of a fan base that actually cares much? Is that what it is? But I can understand, like, when I saw Skip Bayless and those guys a couple months ago just pick Colorado to win the Big 12, well, that's great. Well, that's thrilling to some extent. It's also like they're only picking Colorado because I think they can only name like 3 players in that conference, and all of them play for Colorado. Like, there's some lazy takes when it comes to it. And I can understand why people get frustrated. But what I will never understand is how people like Timothy come in here and they literally spend their extra time commenting on something that they don't really seem to care about on the outside. But what is it the nerve? What is it the nerve that, a poor program like us that's been bad for 20 years, we used to get shit on because we're irrelevant, because we'd get beat by Air Force by like 40 points. And now we're trying to do better. And usually when that happens, you just see people want to come around and root for us. Is it because we got Deion Sanders as our coach? Is it, for some people, is it because Deion Sanders is an outspoken black man and some people don't like that? I think that has to do with some of the hate. Absolutely. Do people not like the attention because we're flashy? Totally. Like, I totally get that. But I would rather be loved and hated than being irrelevant, losing to Air Force every single year by 40 points. So we do deserve it because we're the one that made the risk that so many of you haters want to call a risk. We made the move to bring in Prime. And now we're one of the most hot rising teams, programs in the country. And really all these people can say is, well, good luck, he's going to leave in a couple years. Man, I don't even know what to say to that now. Continue to hate. Man, Willie Gaines back in the portal. Yep. Yep. Again, another prime example of a guy that just didn't start at JSU, but comes in here saying that he's going to get 1,000 yards and go to the NFL. I don't even know what else to say. But I hope he can find somewhere to play football where he will get time. Oh, because you all said defamatory words to Oregon? No, I never said anything like that about Oregon. Now, I do think that Dan Lanning has something to prove with winning the big games, but I have a lot of respect for Oregon. I do enjoy the recruiting rivalries, and hey, I got a Bo Nix jersey, man. But no, sometimes I feel like you Ducks fans get a little too insecure about us getting attention for some reason when we've really just followed the same mold as Oregon. We've been a lot about like putting ourselves in the media, having nice looking uniforms, making sure that we're on the cutting edge of how to relate to players, how to bring in talent. Like, if anything, Oregon has kind of helped set the mold for some of these programs that are on the rise. And yes, Dan Lanning's got a good old boy face that I just want to slap all the time, man. Like, no doubt. But I think you're saying that the Bus fans are insecure. I definitely feel like Oregon definitely has in their fan base an inferiority complex to some extent because they are slept on a lot. But I do want you to know, I do have Dylan Gabriel as a Heisman finalist this year. That being said, yeah. Fuck him. Oh, okay. But that still isn't. Never mind. You're not an Arizona fan. I'm going to shut up. Dave, if the O-line hold up, I don't see anyone beating the offense is too good. Man, a man can dream, right? A man can dream. And yeah, can the offensive line hold up? That I hear that be like average to above average. If we're above average, we're winning a lot more games than I think 8. We'll just have to see. Tyler Brown at right tackle. I don't know, man. Again, I wish we had a preseason game to see how all these guys look. But I do know that even though there are question marks at the tackle position, what I do feel so much better about is the interior part of the line. Again, guys, if you watch some of my film reviews, we've seen run plays drawn up. They look just fine, but they go nowhere or they're at a loss of yardage because you might have 4 guys blocking correctly, but you had a 280-pound guard that was just getting beat so often, and those plays would go nowhere. We got guys that are now 40 pounds larger, more experienced than the guards that we had playing last year. I think that we're going to be able to run inside much more effectively, and we got the backs to do it. Now, Charlie, we'll see what Charlie can do. You know, he's kind of got to prove me wrong in some sense because he's a smaller, lighter back. I like the guys like Down Hayden, Isaiah Gustive, Michael Welsh, those types of bruisers that can run in between the tackles that have 30 pounds on a guy like, or 20 pounds on a guy like Charlie Offerdahl. That's why I'm excited about this room. We're not going to have, last year we run Dylan Edwards, 170-pound back up the middle with no interior blocking ability. That's going to change this year. And I do want to say, like, Van Wells was fine, but again, when your 2 weakest run blockers for the most part were the guards last year, it's just nothing's ever going to look good. It's going to make the whole line look bad. Key is the defense. Offense will be fine. And I'm going to say ball control, baby. This is something that I was talking about with Rawhide. Like, let's run the clock. Like, let's emphasize time of possession. That's something Pat Shurmur has always emphasized throughout his play calling career. And even though we're playing at altitude, there's no point in going fast if you got a defense that you want to make sure is performing well. You don't want them to get tired out. You don't want them to be on the sideline for 45 seconds and then having to get back on the field. Now, we should be able to extend drives more than we did last year, but really, I think the key is if this offense is going to be good, I don't see them putting up 50 points a game because I don't see them going fast like that. I want to see them burning clock. Again, one of the toughest things to watch last year was seeing Utah run out the clock on us to end the season, like 5-6 minute drive to end the fourth quarter. I want to be doing that to opponents. I want to have those days where we start out the game with like an 8-minute drive that scores a touchdown. I'm happy Shiloh spoke about the improved run game. I haven't caught Shiloh and Shador's press conference yet outside of a couple clips, so I'll need to go check that out. But yes, it's great to see that he's talking about the improved running game. And Coach Prime talking about the improved defensive line as a whole, saying they're more talented, they're better, they're improved. I believe it. I do believe it. I hope Hank Zelinskis can hold up. I think he can. Are you going to next week's public practice? We're going to have to see. I'm in a little bit of a transition. I am currently in the process or about to begin the process of moving. So we're going to have to see. Next weekend is my last weekend here in Colorado, at least for the short term. So we're going to have to see how it goes. I know. I'm really sad. Jason, Charlie needs to put on like 10 to 15 pounds of muscle and increase his explosiveness a bit more than he's straight. Yes, and that's why I see him more as kind of a complimentary back. Oh, Ron, I didn't hear what the Pittsburgh coach said. Oh, this was like a year and a half ago. and he was just saying how he would never completely churn the roster like Coach Prime has done. Like, who would ever try and just build through the portal? Who would just try and out a bunch of guys, tell them they're not good enough for the team when you're trying to get them? Like, he just sounded bitter, and it was nothing more poetic than going and getting some of his better defensive players in the portal when he's talking shit about the method of building through the transfer portal and giving guys, Coach Prime should have been giving these guys a chance. No, these guys had their chance in 2022 when they went 1-11. Dino. My dog Dave. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Says Coach Prime showed out today. He absolutely did. This was great, and I'm hoping we get more press conferences like this again. I don't think Matt Rule's going to be the one stirring up anything this year or Nebraska. I think they've kind of changed their tune a little bit, which I think is smart on their part, not to poke the bear. But we know that there's going to be shots fired from, that janitor-looking dude coaching CSU. But, we'll handle business there. And we'll see what other coaches in the Big 12 want to poke the bear. It should be a lot of fun, but I care most right now in conference about beating Arizona. These media members are so weird. Where again, it's really funny to look at their performance. They say something about Colorado, the viewership will outdo anything that they're saying throughout an entire week on Arizona combined. I feel like Colorado right now is keeping some of our conference rivals, opponents' coverage alive, and they need to thank Coach Prime for all of that. Whisper to me, go Big Red. Hey, thanks for tuning in. It's always nice to have some rival fans in here, and apologies or not apologies, but it just sucks to see you guys lose your left tackle because I'd like to beat y'all without any built-in excuses, but. We're going to have to see how it goes. I'm sure the offensive line is going to be just fine. Nebraska seems to be a pretty good job at it. Yeah, I saw Derek McClendon sack last night. That was great to see. And I haven't really been following Derek McClendon. I've just kind of been keeping somewhat of an eye on Zay Weaver. Seems like he's performing really well so far throughout camp. But it would be great to see some of these buffs make a roster or a practice squad. Dude, I love the Tennessee guys because talking Vols, they got that dude that looks like he's in a jail cell talking. Like, man, I love that show. Tennessee was talking plenty junk due to the Athlon Sports report, of course. Oh, they probably ate that up. They probably got off to that. Can we get a boo? Yes, Boo Carter in the portal, please. Wouldn't that be great? And Nebraska, I just saw that David Sanders is now crystal ball to go to the Vols, man. What's up with that? Yeah, y'all didn't have enough fans greeting him there. What's up with that? Yes, Doyle. Thank you, Doyle. Arizona had one season that was good. Other than that, they've always been terrible. Yes. Now they're acting like they're the best thing in the Big 12, and they got some quarterback. Again, I don't feel like Noah Fifita is on the same level as Shedeur Sanders. And again, you have a very good coach that left at the quickest opportunity. We'll see how they do with all that coaching change. But I think one thing, if you can take away from our experience last year, is that, hey, organizational change, it just takes time. We'll see what happens here. I don't know if this is going to be, for Arizona, like the Miami Hurricanes, where they got, Larry Coker taking over and then just winning a title immediately. They're not built like that. I told you, David, Nebraska wasn't going to land him probably. See, Mike's got the sources. He's the guru of Nebraska. That's what we need you to be. We need you to start dropping things on Twitter saying this guy's going to commit. Just watch it happen. Why is Coach Prime getting drugged just because he chose not to answer questions from someone that negatively affects the program? Because the media, man, these guys are always going to stick up for each other for the most part. Yeah. They see it as like, hey, you treat one of us bad. Again, there's a lot of just dumb, like, fraternity type things going on with the media and when they talk to coaches or players. It's dumb. But yeah, media will see another media member getting, dragged through the mud, and they'll be mad about it without caring to look into the reasons why. That's right. That's a good point, Go Bucks. Coker was in the system. Yeah, they didn't hire somebody from the outside. He was promoted from within. And that probably had something to do with them still maintaining that winning culture they had. And yeah, they won a national title, right? I forget the one that happened against Nebraska. They won that, or the Ohio State one. I don't know. It was a while back. But yeah, they won a national title with Larry Coker, right? Anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap this thing up. Thank you guys so much for talking with me. I greatly enjoyed this. I just want to say thank you again to everybody who sent a super chat. Chairman A lot of regulars in here. Green Creole, thank you for the $20. We had King Rich, $2. We had D-Time, USC fan. Yes, that's right. Come on, do that dirty work against Texas A&M now. Come on. Thank you. Greg Nelson, thank you. Thank you very much. We had Dino, or man, I'm sorry. I should know how to pronounce your name, but I like Dino and I like Dino. Oh my God, you sent me 2 super chats. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. And go check out Dino Up the Score as well. Dino Up the Score. I should know it by now. I'm sorry, y'all. But greatly appreciate you guys. Smash that like again on the way out for Julian Lewis to commit. Let's get it here. And thanks to the haters that came in here as well. It's always fun. John, going back to forth with you guys. Why is Coach mad at CBS? Because they ranked him as the 15th best head coach in a 16-team Big 12. And Jen J greatly appreciates. So, all right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Go Buffs.